Hello and welcome to the Knitterarium podcast. My name is Ruth, I'm your host, and this podcast is coming to you from Westmeath in Ireland, where I live. Today is Wednesday the 18th of October, and this is episode 31. I want to thank you all for taking some time out of your busy days to spend with me here on the channel, and I really appreciate it. Some little admin news now first. The places that you can find me are on Instagram. I am Knitterarium on Instagram. You can find me on my website, knitterarium.com, and you can also find me in our Ravelry Group, Knitterarium. If you just search under the Groups tab on Ravelry for Knitterarium, you will find us, and that is the place to chat some more with everybody, get to know everybody. We also have knit-alongs and giveaways happening in there, so that's the place to find all of that. Daily interaction, you can find me there and on Instagram the most often. We currently have a Shawl knit-along running at the minute. It is running until the end of October. It is the You Are Amazing Shawl knit-along. There is a finished object thread opened up there, and any Knitterarium shawl that has been knit in the last 2 months can qualify to be entered into that, and we have some prizes, and there are pictures of that in the finished object thread. We will also, I just want to mention, we will also be having our last knit-along of this year starting on November the 1st, and it runs until December the 31st, and we will also have the grand prize draw for the whole end of the year, but I will speak some more about those next week, because I will be opening up chatter threads for that next week. So if you have missed the last couple of shawl knit-alongs and would like to join in, we have one that is coming up. I also have the results of the Walking with Elizabeth giveaway. That was a giveaway that was running in the Ravelry Group, and it was for the collection, the Walking with Elizabeth collection. So you will be gifted the pattern for Pemberley Woods, Longbourn Avenues and Rosings Grove. Now, just before I started to record, I used random number generator to draw a winner, and the winner is post number 3, Louzzle, I think I'm pronouncing that right. That is Louise, and the prompt was, you just had to tell me what is your favourite moment in the Pride and Prejudice book, and Louise says that there were so many. I get that, but her favourite is when Elizabeth discovers Darcy at home during her visit to Pemberley, and he rushes to get dressed in order to catch her before she leaves. Louise loves that whole section, right up to the point where where the news of Lydia arrives, and Louise says she tends to get overtaken by a need to box Lydia's ears. And I was laughing at that, because that's exactly what I think as well. And I really enjoyed reading all of your answers. I didn't want to jump in and answer everybody's, because I'd been mucking up the random number generator, but I really enjoyed reading all of your answers, and congratulations, Louise. As soon as I'm finished recording this episode, I will give that onto your Ravelry library. We also have another new giveaway starting today, and it is for a copy of the Oceans of Time pattern. That is my newest release. I don't have the shawl here itself today, because I sent it over to Victoria of Eden Cottage Yarns she was attending the Bakewell Wool Festival at the weekend, and she was wearing it. So if you attended that festival, you may have seen it there, and do let me know, I'd love to hear. So I will be opening up a thread as soon as I have finished this for to win a copy of the Oceans of Time pattern, and the prompt is, let me see, what will the prompt be? What is your favourite Halloween tradition? Yeah, what is your favourite Halloween tradition? Because the Oceans of Time pattern itself was inspired by Bram Stoker's Dracula, and that's where the whole inspiration came from. So that is a prompt. Yeah, so pop along to the Ravelry group and answer that prompt, and you could be in with a chance of winning a copy of that pattern, and I will gift it to the winner's Ravelry library. So I will leave that open for 2 weeks, and then I will draw the winner in about 2 weeks time. So I will. That should give people plenty of time to catch up on the podcast and see it and enter. So I think with all of that out of the way, we will grab our knitting, we'll get comfortable, and we'll get started with the inside world of Knitterarium. Excuse me, my chair is squeaking quite a lot. I need to, I've tried oiling it and nothing seems to work with it. So I just have to sit easy. In the inside world of Knitterarium, we have had the pattern release, Oceans of Time, and I'll have popped a picture up when I was talking about the giveaway, so you'll have seen that. So we had, that was going on the inside world. We had that. It's always quite busy on the run up to a pattern release. So that kept us busy last week, and the week before that, yeah, I don't think so, because it is 2 weeks from I recorded a podcast. Mainly because I just had work knitting. I had the release last week, and I had a lot of work knitting, and there's not enough work knitting that I can tell you about to fill up a podcast. So that's why it was 2 weeks. So I have been working away on Moon Garden, and this is a new cowl pattern that I am knitting on, and I am using Eden Cottage Yarn's Tempo 4-ply. This is the woodland colourway, this beautiful green, and the other colour I'm using is Eschnops. Now this is the one, I'm never sure if I'm pronouncing it properly. So it's this beautiful light silvery grey colour. It's beautiful. So these are the two colours together. This is for Moon Garden. So those are, the Tempo 4-ply now is 75% wool and 25% nylon. Yep, so from Eden Cottage Yarns. There we go. So that is that. And I have been making good steady progress on this. I can show you this because this one isn't a secret, so I can show you. Where was I? This is where I was, all the way down here. I had just finished this striped section that I had been working on, and I have knit this much more. I have a tiny little bit more to go on this, and then I'm ready to move into the next section. So this is, oh, the yarn is about to go flying. So this is the cowl so far. So it joins in the round around here, just where the striped section begins. So this is it has a shawl front on it. So this bit will sit down more on the neck, and then we have all of this. And I want a full cowl. I don't want it sitting down here. I want it to build up. So it's nice and long. So it's going to keep you warm. So I've done all of this. So it's quite a good bit. This is it's just round and round knitting at the moment. The pattern is easy to memorize, and it is extremely easy to read your knitting from it, which means that I can pop on a show that I'm watching and just knit away on it. So that's what I have been working quite a good bit on. It is making really good progress, so it is, and it is moving extremely quickly. It's all in a mess in the bag. It will be, I would imagine it's going to be with testers within some stage next week, so it will. I'll be finished that grey section later today and have moved on to the next section, which isn't quite as long. And I am keeping that in my lovely woodland themed bag from Ellie of Craft House Magic. So that is one design I'm working on. The other design I'm working on are my my Christmas socks in my little gingerbread bag. This again is also from, this one is also from Ellie of Craft House Magic. This is part of the gingerbread kit I happen to show you. Now, I'm at the stage of this that I can't show you because I'm on the pattern, but I can show you the colours. So here we are. These are the colours that I'm using. I have decided on the pattern name, but I'm not ready to reveal it just yet. So these are the colours I'm using, and I'm knitting the toe up version of these. You can knit these toe up or cuff down. There will be instructions for either. The yarn I'm using is this beautiful sparkly yarn. It's all in a mess in the bag. I don't know how they're getting a mess. So this is Meadowroo on a sparkly yarn from Eden Cottage Yarns, and then this is Silver Birch, and again this is on a sparkly yarn, so you can see the sparkle there in it. And so this is the two colours together, and they're on a sparkly base. So that's those socks. They are, as I said, I'm knitting the toe up version of those, and I'm just nearly on the cuff of those. So they are going to be coming off the needles in the next day or so, and it will be heading for testing then. So it will. So that will hopefully be ready for you all very soon. Along with the cowl, they're probably going to be the next. They're going to be the next couple of designs that we'll have ready for you. I've also caked up in my Game of Thrones bag that I was showing you last week, that I got made for me by Karina of Strand Designs. Now this is, I didn't realise this bag was quite so big. I knew it would fit a shawl. This has 6 skeins of iron weight yarn in it, and this is for a new pattern. I'm going to be starting. I have to swatch. Now the colours I have, I'm just going to dig out the cards because I don't want to mix them up. This one is the Stone colourway. So this is Stone. This is the Langdale iron weight yarn from Eden Cottage Yarns, and it is 100% merino wool. So this is Stone. So it's wonderfully soft, so it is. So there is Stone. There is Stone Chat. This one here, it's kind of like kind of like a peachy pink color. So it is Stone Chat, and then this is Thunder. So this is a beautiful purpley grey kind of color. It's lovely. This is Thunder. Now I have the name of this pattern very nearly decided on. I just need to swatch up. These are the 3 colours together. I just need to swatch up for these and just get started. I spent a bit of time at the weekend writing up some patterns. So I just need to swatch and get started with that. So that will hopefully be on the needles by next week's episode. And we'll see how we go with that. So this, as I said, this bag is holding 6 skeins of the iron weight yarn in that. I have 2 of each colour. So that is that pretty much is my last piece of Inside World of Knitterarium. Yeah, we covered everything, so we did. So we'll move on to what's not on my needles. What's not on my needles means we have a finished object, and they are my Wildflower Honey socks. Here we are. This is the one that I did not make the mistake on. Look, see here? know we can see it right across, but it is only going to be a lot on the back of the sock. So these are the finished pair. What are the yarns I used? This was Eden Cottage Yarns Tempo Rambling Rose colourway, and this was the Wool Barnes, I think it's Sugar Rush. That's their plump sock anyway. So it's got 80% wool, 10 cashmere and 10 nylon. I think it's definitely their plump base. And then this is the, as I said, the Rambling Rose from Eden Cottage Yarns. Now I knit the taupe version of these, because you can knit taupe and cuff down. So I knit the taupe version of these, and they've got a heel flap and a gusset. Now the other thing I did with these was I worked a slip stitch heel. I had started the slip stitch heel and I had completed on one of the socks, and then I realised that I was supposed to be doing an Eye of Partridge heel flap. I had been working a heel flap on a slip stitch heel flap on the new Christmas socks at the time, and I had switched over to working these, and I carried on knitting it, so I just went with it. As I said, I made a mistake, yeah, because you can see here on the front of the sock it's right, and then on the back I miscounted. I thought I was a row ahead than what I was, despite having a marker to show me which was the front and which was the back. I still made the mistake. I thought about it, was it going to really bother me that much? And no, it wasn't, so I didn't bother frogging the whole way back, because it's only one row off on the back, and I just knit an extra plain row here. So that was that. Let me see what else I used. Now I've been talking about finding a bind off that I like for toe up socks. So with these ones I tried the elastic bind off, so I did. It's a little bit stretchier than a lace bind off. I tried that and I like it. It doesn't flare out like, is it the Judy's Magic cast off, the stretchy cast off? It flares out a little bit at the top, and I don't tend to like that. I know it's fine on the foot, but I don't like the look of it. So I like that this one just sits. This is the elastic bind off. So I'll just double check that, and I'll put it on the screen. And I forgot to say, the show notes will be down below in the description box, as well as all the links to the places that you can find me, and all of the things I talk about, and they'll also be in the Ravelry group. So I'll put it on the screen below. Just I'm nearly sure it's the elastic bind off I used on these. So yeah, I do, and I like that. I like how it fits, and I like how it feels. So we'll see how we go with that. So there we are, one finished pair of Wildflower Honey socks. Is there anything else to add? I knit these on 2.25s. I do not find this Wildflower Honey pattern here too tight on my leg at all on the 2.25. If you're finding it a little bit tight, I do give you the gauge that I have for that on 2.25, so you can work out whether you might need to just go up a needle size and make it a little bit looser if you're finding that a little bit looser. So yeah, 2.25, and I knit these are the 8-inch socks, the middle size. So they are my finished Wildflower Honey socks. So I'm glad they're done and I'm able to wear them now. We will move on into what's on my needles. So what is on my needles? I've not started another new pair of socks. I have them out and ready. This is yarn I had caked up from Strand Designs, Karina of Strand Designs. She not only does she make bags, but she also makes she also dyes wool. So this is a self-striping yarn, and it is called, I think it's chalkboard. Yeah, this screen is card, and it's chalkboard. It is 75% superwash merino and 25% nylon. So this is here, it's self-striping yarn in the chalkboard colourway. So I'm looking forward to get started with that. I've kicked up into two 50-gram balls, and I've decided that I'm going to try knitting these 2 at a time. I think I have these at the same point of starting, so we'll see how matchy I get the socks, but I'm going to be knitting them 2 at a time. I also took out this little mini. Now I don't know what this mini is from, and it's just a mini I had when I just went for a bit of a stash type, because I wanted something that would go along with the chalkboard, and there's little flecks of yellow throughout it, and so I'm going to use this yellow mini on the toes anyway. On the toes, hopefully for the for turning the heel and the heel flap. That's what I'm hoping. So I have to start those, and as I said, I'm going to give 2 at a time. Now that I've tried the magic loop and I like it, I'm going to give 2 at a time a go, because I knit them concurrently anyway, so I've just tried 2 at a time on the one needle. So that is, and I'm keeping those in my this gorgeous little poppy bag, and Karina gifted me this bag, so she did, and she made me just a wee matching needle cozy for it. So I will be casting those on. Just later today, because I'm finished the wildflower honey socks. I need a new pair of socks for the car run and for appointments, so these are going to be them. So that's that. In my fondant fibre bag, I have my side shawl. I should say the socks are going to be just plain vanilla socks, and I'm going to knit them on 2.25. So this is the side shawl, and this shawl I am knitting as part of the You Are Amazing shawl knit along that we have running in the Ravelry Group. I've made a bit of progress on this at the weekend. Now the yarns I'm using for this are Eden Cottage yarns, Titus 4-ply yarns. This is the Wild Orchid colourway, and it's got these beautiful purples and pinks with kind of like natural colours in it. And then for contrast, I am using again Titus 4-ply. This is the Rosebud colourway. So this is pink, but it's got, I don't know if it's picking it up, it's got flecks of like a goldy brown throughout it that are just very subtle. That is what's contrasting with it. Wee lavender bag sachet in the bag, and it smells lovely. So progress. Where was I? So this is where I was the last time. So I have knit just a couple of rows on it. This is it here. So here we have, this is the Wild Orchid in the side stitch, and then this here is the Rosebud with sections of that, and I'm on the second section of the Wild Orchid. I'll get a closer up look at the side stitch. I think that's it. I think it's focused. I'm a little bit far away from the screen and I can't see. So I hope that was focused for you. So yeah, this is coming up. I don't know, am I going to get this finished in time for this shawl knit along? I think come January I'm going to have a lot of shawls that I'm going to have to be finishing off. But I'm enjoying them, and I'm going to cast on another shawl for the next shawl knit along as well anyway. So this is where I am with this. I am just I love how these colours are working together for this. It's just gorgeous. I'm really loving this. So as I said, this is I'm on the second section of the Wild Orchid, and then we have another section with Rambling Rose. I can show you on the picture maybe. Give me a picture. Because I didn't bring up the sample. I didn't bring up the sample of it, so this here is a close-up of it. I can see. Okay, so I am just somewhere down here on the pattern, just down here. So I just have the rest of this, and these are the little sections to go on it. Yeah. So that's it. That's where I am on it. I am knitting that on 4mm on my Shawl needles. Is what I'm knitting that on. And yeah, I don't think there's anything more to say about that really. Just, yeah, I've made a bit of progress. I think this weekend gone by is the first weekend in the last couple of weeks that I have managed to get knitting on, you know, personal projects like these. And I brought my Grace cardigan out. I'm not sure that I knit on this. I just don't think I was, I just wasn't in the right frame of mind. We'll just double check. I just wasn't in the right frame of mind for knitting on the Grace. So I wasn't. I was tired and I just wanted to relax. And I know I'm at the stage of starting the first set of decreases on my Grace cardigan. The Grace cardigan is by Jane Richmond. No, so I didn't make any progress on this. So I didn't knit anything. I didn't fancy knitting and having to concentrate and count on the decreases if I wasn't in the mood, and then have to frog it back. So I haven't made any progress on this. And I want to, it's only plain stockinette, so there's only a small amount of thinking really for the decreases. It's only minimal. This is the Grace cardigan, so I'm knitting it in a similar colour to that. I am knitting it in Eden Cottage Yarns Milburn 4-ply. That is 85% BFL and 15% silk. What else am I doing with that? This is the Autumn Fields colourway. Sorry, this is the Autumn Fields colourway. So it has this beautiful lace stitch at the top of the back and the top of the front of the cardigan, and then it's just plain stockinette. I am knitting this on 4mm. I had to go up to 4mm needles to get gauge, and I'm knitting these with my higher sharps. So that's all I have to say about that. As I said, I didn't make any progress. I didn't fancy frogging it back, and sometimes when you're just not in the mood for a project, the best thing you can do is just leave it there, because you'll only have to rectify something, or certainly I do anyway. So that is where I am with that now, and I do want to get this done because it's getting cold and it's getting chilly, and I forgot to pull out my shawl today to pop it on. It's shawl weather, so it is, and it's garment weather, so I want to definitely want to get this knit and off the needles so I can wear it, because I have several more garments lined up with the yarn ready to knit. I have been thinking actually that perhaps after Christmas, when all the knit alongs are finished, that I am going to instead of having an extra having a shawl on the needles, what I might do is finish up the shawls that I have that have become works in progress, And what I might do is cast on a second garment. So then I have still got my 3 projects that I like, but I would have 2 of them would be garments. That's kind of what I'm thinking. We'll see. We'll see. So that is my 3rd and last project that is on my needles. We will move on into treasure trove. So what have I got for you today for treasure trove? It's been 2 weeks, so we have a bit of. So we'll start with this wonderful package that arrived. Excuse the crinkling. Ellie from Craft House Magic. Hi Ellie. I've just been catching up with Ellie's podcast all over the weekend. I was behind, so I was behind, and I needed to. So I spent the weekend catching up with Ellie while I was working on different projects. But Ellie was had so very kindly agreed to be one of the sponsors for our last knit along, the You Shine Like a Star knit along, and she had agreed, and she sent on the prize package. Now it is all wrapped up here, and I'm not going to open this until I'll open it and show everybody when the You Shine Like a Star shawl knit along starts on November the 1st. I will show you on the podcast and take pictures and put them into the group. I have a feeling that it is themed to You Shine Like a Star, but we'll wait and see when we open up the package. So Ellie very kindly had sent this to me, so I would have it in time to show you all, so you could all be excited. But in the package there was also this project bag. Now, if you are a long-time viewer, you may already know that I like hedgehogs. If you are a new viewer, I should tell you now that I have a slight obsession with hedgehogs. So Ellie very kindly sent me this. Look at this project bag. Look, can you see? Look at the wee flowers that are embroidered on, and the hedgehog. Look, isn't it just gorgeous? Isn't this bag just beautiful? Thank you so much, Ellie. I don't just like this bag, I love this bag. It's absolutely gorgeous, and it has this beautiful ribbon for a pull tie, and look if we can get it up close. Look, it's a little hedgehog on a log on it. Isn't that wonderful? It's just so gorgeous. Thank you so much, Ellie. This is just, I have a project lined up to go into this, but I wanted to show everybody first. So this is it here. This is definitely a shawl size, and this is Ellie's label, Craft House Magic, and you'll find her on Etsy. And this lovely pocket. I love a pocket inside the bag. It's very handy for holding the yarn tags into, and it saves me rooting around looking for them, which I always seem to be doing. So this is this beautiful, beautiful, beautiful bag. Thank you so much, Ellie. It was a complete surprise and very unexpected, and I love it. Thank you. We were just so delighted to have you as a sponsor for the knit along, that I was really just quite happy with that. So I was just blown away by your kindness. Thank you so much. And be sure to check out Ellie on Etsy. She's Craft House Magic. There will be a link down below, and she I know she has some really gorgeous Christmas bags. So I've been looking. I also wanted to show you, look at this lovely card that Ellie sent with it. It's got more hedgehogs. Look at this little one in the pot, in the flower pot. Oh, look. What is not to love about hedgehogs? See? Hedgehog mad. Absolutely. I love them. My favourite animals. Thank you so much, Ellie. I'm keeping this. This card's going on my notice board because I'm keeping it. It is hedgehogs. Thank you. Okay, what else? After that little bit of hedgehog madness. Yes. Tickles and Pins on Etsy. You may remember I got some progress keepers from these a couple of weeks ago. I happened to pick up some more. This time I picked up some Halloween ones. So we've got this this lollipop one with a bloody bite taking out of it. Look. So that's this little one. It's so cute. Look. So these are Tickles and Pins on Etsy. So I got that one. Oh, I got this really I got this really cute Frankenstein one. And then I got this really cute witch one. Isn't that so cute? Look at the little witch's hat. Oh, I love this one. I think this one might be my favorite. So they are Tickles and Pins on Etsy, and they are I got the little progress keepers. Chickens. And look, she sends the cutest little thank you cards. See? I'll hold it to the side because it does say thank you. And they're so cute. So there we are. That is Tickles and Pins. And the other thing, you remember I mentioned I was going to start another shawl for the last shawl knit along we're running, the You Shine Like a Star. I may have already decided on my shawl and my yarn, so I'm nearly ready to go. The fact that I've not finished the other one or two of the other ones throughout the year, just, you know. I happen to get this pack. Now, this is a pack from Eden Cottage Yarns that Victoria is doing up for the Pemberley Woods shawl. Now, I'll pop a picture of the Pemberley Woods shawl in here. Now, so this Pemberley Woods shawl, she was a collaboration. The whole Walking with Elizabeth collection was a collaboration I had done with Victoria from Eden Cottage Yarns, and she was doing up kits for the for Pemberley Woods. Now she has kits in the original colours, in the excuse me, I'm going to sneeze. Excuse me. I could feel that coming. She has kits in the original colours in the Rambling Rose, Briar Rose, Fuchsia and Fern Green. She has some of those kits already on her website. Now, when they're gone, I'm not sure when she's going to get them back in because she's not sure herself when she's going to dye them up. But she also did this pack. This is sort of like a darker, moodier kind of colour pack, and it comes like with a wee canvas bag, and there is a pin in her. We'll open it up and we'll take them out. The colours in this are Stone and Dusk. This is the Stone and Dusk. So this will probably do the striped section at the start. Then this is Thunder. This colour is going to be the lace at the very end, and then this gorgeous dark green is Cedar, and then this will be for the green section in it. And there is a pin. This is the little pin that comes with the wee and this same alpaca is on the front of the bag. So that's part of the kit that Victoria is doing up for the Pemberley Woods shawl. So if you want to pop along to her website and just look under kits, you'll find them there. As I said, I'm not sure whether she has any more of this darker colour pack. You'd have to check with her. But she does have a couple of the original colour packs. And I'll have popped a picture in for that. And as I said, I'm not sure when she's going to be getting those back in. So I'm going to be knitting a Pemberley Woods, and I'm going to be using these darker colours that Victoria has put together for that, because I already have a sample in the original colour, so I thought it might be nice to have one in those darker colours as well. I also want to say that the Oceans of Time pattern is also a collaboration with Victoria, and if you keep an eye out over the next few days on her newsfeed, I know she's putting together some kits for that as well, so you can check that out with her on any of her social media feeds. So that's all I have in Treasure Trove. So we'll move on into Chitty Chit Chat. What have we got for Chitty Chit Chat? Well, we're over the ex-hurricane. So we got a hit on Monday. It hit on Monday. It hit Ireland on Monday. We had lots of warning in advance that it was coming, and it was, as it came up, it was a hurricane. But in Saturday or Sunday, it got downgraded, I think, to a category 3. I think it was, so it became an ex-hurricane, I'm assuming. I don't know. We don't normally get hurricanes. By the time they've hit us, because the seas are so cold around us, they have, the cold seas tend to take the energy out of it, and so we don't tend to get hit with hurricanes, or ex-hurricanes for that matter either. But we had lots of warnings, so we knew in advance. A lot of public services were closed down for Monday, so they were, and schools were shut, so people did not have to go out, and I think that helped to minimise casualties. I know there were a few, and I think there was 3 deaths anyway that we know of so far, and you know, my sympathies go out to those families. So they do. We because we're right in the Midlands, right in the middle. We got winds much stronger than what we would ever get, but nowhere near as strong as what they did on the coast. We did have a lot of trees that were uprooted and roads closed and power out. But as I said, the people along the coast, they got it a lot worse. And I know some of the public services were back yesterday, not fully, just depended on whether roads and lines were clear for buses and trains to run, and other public departments as well. The schools were closed, as I said, on Monday, so they were closed, and so they had a day off. And then the schools also remained closed yesterday, just so everybody had a chance to go in, assess what damage was done, make sure they had power and heat and light and things like that. So they're all back at school today, so it's a short week. What else have we been up to? As I said, I didn't record an episode last week because the weekend before we had a lot of we had a family get together on the Sunday, and that was great fun. We had a lot of fun that day. We were all together. We also had an event on Friday night for my father, so that was quite good. We had a family event for that too. So the whole weekend was kind of busy, and I had done little to no knitting, so there was no point in me recording anything for you last week. I had nothing to show you. So we had that, so that was quite good. My second eldest had his birthday. He turned 16, so he's gone today to an adventure centre with his year in school. They're gone to an adventure centre until Friday, so he's gone to do canoeing and rock climbing and abseiling and windsurfing and whatever else they're going to get up to. Probably lots of things. So he's gone to that while the rest are at school. So he's having a great time. He's enjoying it. I know they have only the rest of this week and next week, and then they're on midterm break already. They're off then for the week for that. I'm trying to think if we have anything else. I don't think so. The weather took up most of it, and if there's one thing that we like to talk about, it's the weather. Today now, it's brightening up wonderful. We had a lot of fog this morning. You see, I could probably fill the whole podcast just by talking about the weather, so I could. Yeah, because yesterday we had blue skies and sun, and it was, you'd never think that we had 190-mile-an-hour winds blowing through the place yesterday. So it was just beautiful blue skies and sun that was out, and it was lovely. And today we had it was a very foggy morning. It was very foggy, but it's lifted now because I'm looking outside. It is all lifted and it's nice and sunny out there too, again. You see, I could fill the whole podcast with just talking about the weather. But I won't. What we will do is we will leave it there. I'm pretty sure you don't want to hear about my weather. So, don't forget to enter the giveaway for the Oceans of Time pattern. There will be a thread open in the Ravelry group. I'm going to go and open that when I'm finished here, in case I forget. I hope you all have a very relaxing, knit-filled week. I will see you all again next week. Happy knitting. Bye.